So Hyouka follows Oriki Hotaru, a guy who's all about conserving his energy, and lives by the phrase, if I don't have to do it, I won't do it, and if I have to do it as quickly as possible. And at the request of his sister, he joins the Classics Club and meets this girl by the name of Chitanda, whose curiosity is easily pulled. And through her curiosity, she makes Oriki solve these various mysteries and other curiosities, and that's the entire show. Now, this anime was also one of the earliest animes that I was requested to review by one of my earliest subscribers, KH Fanatic 1996. And just like the character Chitanda, I've been curious about watching this anime for quite some time now. Ever since seeing this picture right here, I've been curious to watch it because the picture just gave off this really unsettling vibe to it, and even there's a little subtext in the picture as well that made me very curious to know what this anime was about. I got a sense like there was gonna be like this whole ominous feel to the anime, like there's this big mystery and it was gonna have this creepy vibe to it. So I got excited, and now I finally saw the anime, and it was definitely not the anime that I expected it to be after seeing that picture. But that's okay, it's not the anime's fault, it's my fault for jumping to a conclusion before even seeing the anime. But even on its own merits, the anime just comes off as pretty average. It's decent. The few things that I enjoyed about this anime was, first off, the animation. I thought the animation was very solid, and in a couple episodes the animation was very beautiful, especially in the last episode with the sakura trees. Gorgeous. I seriously just want to plant a sakura tree right outside my door so that when spring comes I could see the pink petals fall gracefully in the wind. It just looks so beautiful, guys. The storytelling in the anime is quite unique, focusing on much smaller, down-to-earth, and realistic mysteries than the large and deadly mysteries that we're used to seeing in any given mystery anime, mystery movie, or what have you. Instead of having the main character solve these big murder cases or political scandals, he basically solves these small-scale, mundane mysteries that any person with an appetite of curiosity would also ponder as to why that occurred. Like, why did this guy lock the door? Why did the teacher make that announcement through the intercom? Who's been stealing all the stuff? Hell, there was a series of episodes where the main character had to solve how to end a mystery movie. That is the type of cases that the main character solves in this anime. And if you enjoy just smaller scale mysteries, then you might have a kick out of it. But if you want big scale mysteries, you might not enjoy it, and I will bring that up again. But I will say that it was a breath of fresh air to see it focus on smaller scale mysteries. And lastly, some of the characters were pretty likable and enjoyable, and some were given some good development that I wish they could have expanded on a little bit more, albeit some of the characters are pretty annoying, like Chitanda. Whenever this girl would become curious, her eyes will start to glow and get big, and she would just reach up to Hotaru's face and be like, I'm curious! Every single time without fail, whenever she would get curious, that's what she would do. And I totally empathized with Hotaru, thinking, oh, here we go again. And speaking of Hotaru, he was my favorite and the most interesting character in this entire anime. His deduction skills were just impressive. Seeing how he would formulate a theory and then seeing how the scenario would play out, I mean, it was just really well done. And when he starts thinking, like really concentrating on a mystery, he has this knack of touching the middle part of his hair, which explains the thumbnail for this video. Now, although I did enjoy a few aspects about this anime, there are a few other aspects that I really didn't enjoy. Earlier I mentioned that I found it unique that this anime focused more on smaller scale mysteries instead of the big mysteries that we're used to seeing. And although I did find it unique, I also found it very mundane and uninteresting. I really didn't care much about any of the mysteries that happened in this anime. There were two mysteries that I found kind of interesting for a while, but after a while I just forgot about it. I was like, wasn't that interesting. So basically, its greatest strength, the small-scale realistic mysteries, is also its biggest weakness, because there isn't much to be invested in. There isn't much that really engages the audience or pulls in interest. I mean, how interesting would it be to watch an entire episode in which the characters try to figure out why somebody locked a door? not that interesting, right? And yeah, there are a few mysteries in the anime that are pretty interesting, but they're far too few to really carry the anime or to make it any better. And the last major problem that I have with this anime was the fact that they didn't explore or expand on the characters, both main and supporting. I mean, you got an understanding of what their personalities are like and what their relationships are with other people, but you don't really get an understanding of their backstory, what makes this character tick. They explore it now and again, but it's very brief, like very brief. There's this one side character named Arisu who's having a conversation with somebody online, and I wanted to know who is that person she was talking to online. What does that person mean to Arisu? And I thought they could do a whole character arc exploring that, but nope, they just show it briefly and then they never explore it again. They never show it again. And that brings up another point about this anime. There is no closure to the stories. Yes, the case is solved, but there are some plot elements or some character arcs that aren't really explored and left unanswered. Hell, the last episode, although not disappointing, does leave on an open note that doesn't really give us closure with our characters. And it leaves you hanging, wondering what's next for the characters. Are they going to end up together? Are they going to still solve mysteries? What's next? So overall, although I did like a few things about the anime as a whole never really pulled me in. It never really kept my interest, and I was just bored throughout the entire anime. And that's why I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's okay. It's not a terrible anime in any way, shape, or form. It's just, if you don't see Hyouka, no one's gonna get angry at you. I recommend reading the books. I'm guessing the books might be more interesting than the anime. It might be one of those few things where the anime just didn't do the books justice. Or maybe I'm just going out on a limb here and the books are just as boring as the anime. Who knows? But anyway, what did you guys think of this anime? Did you really like it? Or did you find it really boring and it never pulled your interest? Have you read the book series? And if so, does the anime do the book series justice? And let me know who is your favorite mystery detective in an anime. Comment below and let me know.